Whoopsies. I think I have a problem. Does this look familiar to you? Other tire is okay. It will keep air in it, but this beauty does not. And of course this outer rubber is a little bit brittle, full of cracks. That won't matter. But inner tube won't keep air in. Where I do know all of this? Well, I did fill my inner tubes last day, and today some chores to do with empty tire. That is no go. We must do something about this. Let's get to it. First things, you need simple tools to get that tire out of that wheelbarrow. Nothing too complicated. Okay. Ratchet and wrench, or even simpler tool. And by the way, this is basic bicycle's wheel, so I just happen to have this kind of wheelbarrow in my possession. So, alright. Welcome to my channel, Kartsa here. As you already has seen what these wheelbarrows possess, basic bicycle wheels, and one is basically that extent broken. This outer wheel has some cracks on it. It is so old, but it will keep inner tube inside. That is what is the most important thing. This outer wheel only covers that inner tube, that it won't get well, basically broken over time, especially if this thing is heavily used like I am, and if there is enough weight top of the wheels and they are doing, I will show you, enough pressure with low inflation in that inner tube will result cracks. So if you have this kind of wheel and you try to inflate it and it still doesn't keep the air in it, you can consider there is one puncture. Two, there might be something related in this valve, air valve, and you can test it by spit on your finger and put your spit on this. Let's see. Let's open the valve cover. Most of these has plastic covers and so on, but you can put your spit to here, and that bubble that it's containing now, if the valve is leaking, the whole thing starts to inflate that bubble, and you can see it. If it inflates that little bubble, your problem is in this valve here, not the inner tube just yet. But the third thing is your inner tube is so old, like in this case. I already know because that another wheel is okay and this is not. It leaks from the this neck. Let's see a little bit closer. Here is this neck. This one. And it can move somewhat little bit, but when I put soap water or my own spit, thing is water won't show it very easily. So that's why you should use soapy water in a spray can or your spit. As long there is something that will show if it gets air, that it starts to bubble. So I already know this is faulty inner tube neck. There might be even a puncture, I don't know. We will check that also in this video. But I am making this inner tube change now at the first hand. I have these spare ones, so I don't mind to throw this old one away because this is so old. And to be noticed, some people might ask what kind of types there are, these inner tubes and so on. I have this old model and I'm not advertising anything, first of all. But this, there is so much these different types of inner tubes. I will present them you now. At first, it comes from many different sizes, and there is different brands, so on, so forth. But let's open this. And I don't know how good this camera is showing you or anything else, but this is same type of inner tube of this wheel than this old one. There are same things in this valve frame than this old one has, so I can already tell that it's okay. Let's open this up. Okay. And there is no inner valve in these, but as long you know that the old one is okay, if you have tested that. So you have to basically have this whole tire kit with you. So I won't open. This is the collar for the this frame to keep it this tube's filling point in the place that it won't start to move when it's empty. And now we can put it top of this tire and we can check if this okay or not. And basically this fits in here. This is somewhat same size. Of course, it's a little bit hard to show because this is not inflated yet, and of course it won't be as long it's not inside. So that is what we are going to put in, and also we need to dismantle this whole thing before we can do anything else. So the collar comes off, and let's see how it is tight. It might have some rust in it. So basic pliers will help. But by the way, if you are doing this on the road and you are traveling with your bike, well, that probably will go without saying that you should have always some kind of tire rescue kit with you, that if there's a puncture you can basically keep your tires drivable condition and hand pump and all these things. But now that I do not have to go and travel anywhere, but I still need these wheels on my wheelbarrow, I need to fix this. This is somewhat tight because it is old. This collar screw. Let's see if I can get it open anytime. It's so tight. Maybe some lubrication could help. Come on now. A little bit of time. Yeah. Maybe you can see. I don't have macro camera to show any specific points, but this is old tires problem always. To get things open that has been sitted in a place long time. Or stayed even in one place. And I have to get another pliers. It won't let it open because it will roll with the same time with this another pliers. This should be basically that easy to open that you can almost open with your fingers only, but small pliers do the trick. And well, there is nothing special to show you if you cannot see anything, because this is only opening this, and it is so tight that my fingers are not capable of opening it. So pliers it is. Maybe now. Yep. Okay, pliers can go away. Now we will open this collar screw. It is small, this kind of. Now we can push this inner tube back inside, and yeah, we can keep this old outer wheel back in place, and we can use it as long it won't burst this inner tube out any from here, see these sides or top of the, I mean it will be okay. It's only outside, nothing to do with the air. Okay. Now I had pushed that tube in. Now we have to take this outer tire off from this place. So, from the wheel, I mean. Basic tools still applies. Doesn't need to be anything complicated. 2 flat-headed screwdrivers. And of course you have now a table to do this, but if you are on the road, well, things are much more difficult to do. But we are not covering how do you do it on the road. This is covering how do you do it when you have time. But if you are doing this by changing this outer tire, remember these can puncture your inner tube. So in this case it's opposite. We do not have to be careful if the inner tube will get hit. But it is always good thing to be careful that you are not damaging this rim wheel. Yeah. Now we have to pop this bad boy out of here. And this will take time without any machines, so this can be fast forwarded, nothing special, but basically you are getting your screwdrivers under this lip and you are just making these movements that the rubber starts to lift up from its base. And as you can see how old this is, because it has taken some rust top of it. Basically normal thing, won't still affect anything as long your main body of your wheel is okay, it's not rusted through thoroughly. But if you might have some round, well, basically same thing as this is, but not anything sharp edges or anything else, that it's round all the way, then this is so much easier. But I want to show you that you don't have to have anything special to do such job. And the inner tube is already in the way, so you, by wiggling this like this, you already can see where your tools and things are. You have to be careful that you are not breaking the inner tube if you want to save it. But also, there might be good thing to have is basically from the starting point, this one screwdriver that is round headed. It will keep that starting point always open. So, see. Then we just start to collect it bit by bit outwards to this outer wheel. And now we have starting point that it will keep it in place, and that's not necessary, but still I'm doing this my way. And thankfully this is not any tractor tire or car's tire. They are a little bit more, and let's just say tougher to get off from this rim wheel, so this is easy to do. And we are nearly done with the round. Okay, I think the rest of the way it will give us to open this such a manner. Then we can flip this over and check if there is any holes or something else than these cracks. They are what they are. They won't affect anything. But yeah, it seems okay. Now we will check this, what we are having inside. Well, basically there's nothing special. But now I have to lift up this wheel's lip that I can squeeze this valve out. Hopefully you can see it, what I am doing. Come on now. Oh, yeah. And there is also a problem. Well, I will take it off and show you afterwards that it is what I suspected to find. And next thing, you should just lift this wheel's lip and keep it up, and you just guide this inner tube out of its inner groove space. Yeah. Hopefully you can see. There is no any detailed things that you have to see, but anyway, there we go. Yeah, the problem, as I suspected, seems okay, but when you do this, hopefully you may see these cracks. Not all the way, not all the round. Let's just say 90% of this wheel is okay, but this inner tube has a crack in it near this valve's contacting point, meaning it will leak air out here, no matter the pressure. Well, the higher the pressure, the more likely it will come out here. And I can show you in water this basically you have a container where is water, you can put it in there and squeeze it. Where you see these bubbles come out, there's your leakage point. But this is unrepairable because I had to get this out and put that fill out this crack from inside, then it would be okay quite a time. But yeah, this is broken. There is your problem. By changing this inner tube, it will be okay. But now we have to focus to get this valve out. And this is needle valve. There are many different types. And by needle valve I mean you have to have this, basically needle nozzle to put your hand pump or whatever air source you have. Then you will put them together. Inside it will open the valve towards the in, and it will let air in, and when the pressure, back pressure is applied enough and you will take your needle off, it will pop it to closed position. And after that, like I told you, you can spit on your finger. Sounds disgusting, okay, but bear with me. You might not have soap water with you on the road because you basically don't need it. But if you are in home like we are now seeing this thing, you can use it. Just get the spray bottle and check if the bubbles are forming. Well, in this case it's out of the picture. You can use your spit like, excuse me, this is disgusting, I know, but anyway, then you will put it top of this. And I know this is not macro camera, it won't focus it, but the hole is now full of basically some other water, and it will show you if you are squeezing this now. But if it's in a place, it will show it already if there is a leakage. But we can tell this valve is not leaking any air because it won't bubble. Your spit will bubble if there is some kind of air coming out of this valve. So we now know that valve is okay, but the neck is not. Check. Anyway, now let's try to open this. And now we have to make sure that we are not damaging these threads. So let's try to be very careful. This ain't easy. Well, at least it's moving. And remember, there is air in this inner tube. So basically you should have some kind of backup plan if this thing is going to pop and fly off and you are basically just lost this thing. Well, finding new one won't be easy if you don't have a spare with you. And spares, I mean, this thing is long and it might give us a pop when it comes off. Come on now. Yeah. Like I do not have spare ones with me now, so I have to do this hideous wiggling. But with a bit of time it will come out. Yeah, it's starting to, well, you might not hear that, but yeah. There it is. And basically this needle tube is this kind of construction. And I'm sorry this is not focusing this, but now you know what kind of valve is needle valve. When you are putting your needle inside this, it somewhat comes here, almost. And when you are putting a pressure to this, it will somewhat open it with that pressure, and it will work pretty good. And remember, this tube has still stuff in it. Do not lose these. Then you are in a big trouble if you are on the road. We are taking that small piece of screwdriver. This one. There is small O-ring, I will show you. Even this is too big for this job. Well, I have smaller one. And even smaller if this is not going to be the tool that I can use. But now you have to be very careful that you are not breaking this O-ring, because you might not have the spare ones to this. And small iron wire could be your answer. I have this one, but let's see, it might not have enough strength in it that it will give that out. A little bit more, and yet this thing is too big. Okay. What about now? And be careful if you are using sharp objects like this iron wire. It will give it out if you are careful, and it can destroy this O-ring if you are not careful enough. It is not easy to show, because even my eyes, this is so small. But yeah. Basically, now this is so small part that you may not even see this. So tiny. And it's not around, well, from the top it's round, but it's like a cradle. It will, well, the shape is like a cradle, let's just say. You have to put it right way. If you put it wrong way, it won't work, because it needs to be just right. And this will keep this needle in a place. This is only for that purpose. But still, if this is broken, it will leak from here. So, and by the way, do not use any harsh chemicals to clean this up, no matter the place. As long there is rubber to be considered to have some kind of damage to it, with only the small ones or the big ones. Try to wash it well with the water, not like some chemicals. Soap water might be okay, yeah, if it's not very acidic or something. These things are very brittle and delicate in a point what comes for those chemicals. And well, excuse me for being a disgusting person again. I will wash these with my spit. I try to be as let's just say natural as possible in these tire change things, because chemicals are not involved. Most of these tire change or inner tube change procedures in a like in these professional places, they won't use anything else than, well, basically soap when they are lubricating this outer wheel to the rim wheel. There they will use the soap only to prevent any, well, it's only lubrication, let's just stay that way, nothing else. Okay, now we will put carefully that we are not losing anything. back. Let's put this thing in a place that we are not losing it, because anything else here is so big that they won't get lost. We will put this cradle modeled little tubing in here, and of course it will be a hassle to get there, especially with these tools. But like I told you, I will show you how I do it. This is not how do you have to do it, because I need to do this. So I will show you that if I can do this, you can do too. Now it's like, well, I cannot show you very perfectly at all what I'm doing, but basically you have to put it to go that way that this side will go straight to this. And now I can try, well, basically I could use this method. And remember, the lubrication, nothing chemical. You will destroy your inner tube from inside or basically perhaps outside. Now, as you can show, it will go somewhat easily to in. And now we will wiggle that into place like so. And in time it will get pressurized and pushed back out, and we have this one collar, this one, that will keep this up. As you can see, it is now very easy to move because it's not old and stick it into place. Do not lose this collar. I will show you. Ta-da! This upper collar keeps this needle valve in the place when it's pressurized. And in the, well, basically years and years usage, this collar basically becomes obsolete because this thing will attach itself to the walls around it. But do not lose this, because in a pressure change it will pop out if there is no anything that will hold it into place. Remember that. Now we will disassemble this, that we can put it back. That. And by the way, the old collar can go away with the old tire. Inner tube, I mean. And now we will take this off. Like so. And I will keep that collar in a place that extent that I mean this outer collar, that it won't fall off. Now we will take this. Well, basically this is junk now. It can be used somewhere else. Maybe this rubber is still okay. It doesn't have anything else. This is old rust. It won't affect this rubber's quality. It's like a coloring, nothing more. But remember, if you want to reuse this somewhere else, check it that it doesn't contain like something cracks. This is good quality rubber. Remember that. This is not garbage. This is okay quality as long it doesn't have any these kind of cracks here. If you can see them, these kinds. If there is these kinds of cracks here, throw this away. It's already that kind of rubber that it won't hold stretch or anything, so it's becoming obsolete. But now, next thing, when you are changing inner tube, we are not done. Not even near. We have to prepare this rim wheel. This, well, let's see. Oop. We have to prepare this baby. The base of this, and why? I show you. And now that we have to change whole inner tube, we have to make sure that these pins that you are seeing, these pins, the base of them, what are in here, every single piece at the base of. I will show you when taking this off, now that I have to take this off. Because the preparation of the rim wheel is the most essential thing, that it won't puncture your just renewed new inner tube. Believe me. But we have to do this once again, and this time I have only to get this outer wheel. This is so tightly in place, just because the thrusting. But we will find that lip where it came off, like so. There we go, all around, like so. And we will flip it over once again. And we have to try to get it off from the wheel all the way. Gently. Gently, gently. It is not easy. Easy feast. Oh. Let's see. Well, it is better to do that. I will show you. This will tell you this rims data. This is Herman's 26 inches, 14 mils times 1680 millimeters, 1 meter 68 centimeters. VH 8 millimeters and some other numbers in it. But yeah, now I want to get this off all the way. I have my reasons to do such thing, and it is not easy thing to do. But when you get your tool in the place, you can basically get it out like so. And now we can check this inner side of this wheel. And by doing that, you just only thing is to check that this tire is not damaged to the extent that inner tube won't stay inside here. So, and as you can see, there is no any chemicals to attach to this rubber, to this rim wheel. It is not essential. But these are the cracks that I mean these markings. The worst these marks are to check with that if there is any sharp edges. You have to make this smooth, this surface as possible. But you can feel it if there is no any sharp edges. If that would puncture the inner tube, you can leave these. But if there are, you can put these rubber, there is these tube repair kits that contains some pieces of rubber that you can cover these sharp edges if there are. And you do not want to change this whole tire. Like in my case, I'm not renewing whole thing because this is old wheelbarrow. Yeah, basically it will show, and now we did go around. It will show that it's okay. And now we are trying to get it as clean as possible, that there is no any stuff inside this. There might be some stuff Yeah, now the main thing. Let's see. It's rusty, so meaning the water has been here some extent. And in this case, you can see every single these pins has covered with a tape. Hopefully. And if you have wheels that has not this kind of coverage in here, you have to put this tape here. It has to cover these, well, let's just say ending points of these pins, because these will puncture your inner tube so easily. Because of pressure change that this inner tube is living, it's like doing this emotion all the time. Every single pump, that road pump I mean, that if there is enough weight, it will react. Well, it's air tire. Surprise! So that little movement will rub this inner tube's walls against this surface. So, now we are seeing that it's full of rust and, like I said, sharp edges. Well, what the heck we are doing right now? One thing is that we will check this whole thing, and we will start from here, because this hole where the needle valve is going through, we will check this, that this area is the most vulnerable area. As you saw how this tube, when it's coming from here, if it can do this wiggle waggle movement, and there is some kind of sharp edge here, what do you think it will do that tubing's neck? Well, in this case, the time was decaying that neck, but the sharp edge at there, well, I can tell you, it will break it prematurely. So this is the most place of these tire damages areas, if this area is not okay, and you can feel it by using your fingers. And there is this, let's just say, tapes corner. You can feel it, okay? But remember, this is rubber-based tape. You can feel it, but it will not puncture or decay or destroy your valve's neck, because it's around here. Anyway, now let's continue the round and feel the whole thing. If you find these rust spots, it's not end of the day. It would be nice if this is rust free, but like in my case, these tires are, I'd say, as old as I am right now, and maybe even older. Meaning, this is basically what happens eventually. But now we are taking things to a better level, let's just say that way. Do not use anything that will damage this rubber or this tape right now, because every single hole more in this rim wheel will get things even worse. But you can use your screwdriver. And of course, remember, you might have better wheels than these, but this is like a worst case that maybe somebody can have. Try to find these shoulders or sharp edges and try to get them off as clean and as well as much as you can. And this surface is rough, okay? That we know already. If this is paint is clear and rust free, it won't be very rough. But that's not our problem, that roughness. Only these sharp edges, if we have them. And I will show you this whole thing now, that what I'm doing. Because, well, there is no now and after pictures, because it will stay rusty. But I will show you next step what is going to be happening after we are finding every single bad place from this wheel. And don't be afraid to take this paint off if you have this painted. Because the next step will, well, you will see. The only thing that is focused now is the sharp edges. Because that next step won't help you if you are not doing this in some extent. And also what you can do, well, it goes without saying, if this rim wheel is somewhat bended, you perhaps should buy new rim wheel or whole tire with its rubbers and so on. But if you want to save money, like in my case, I do not want to use any money to repair such a thing, just because. And like you can see, I'm using my nails to find these rust spots and, well, basically anything that is here. Why? I'm preventing that the remaining paint won't get damaged. Well, it would save some or it won't, but still I'm doing with my nails this thing mostly, because the less here is some roughness, the better. Because every single piece of intact, well, the coloring is not the case, but the intact surface of this paint will still be a better surface than this that I scrape it with this. But in the case there is some solder that I will feel, like you can hear, it will tear that rust off. But still my fingers, or nails I mean, are not damaging this rest of this paint's surface. But when you find something that your fingers are not capable of, take off. Here is the tool. And now, oh yeah, there were a big one. Unfortunately, my finger is enough to take it off. Nice, that would be a puncture place for the inner wheel. Like I told you, even the smallest little detail, well, it's not detail, it's a rust spot. But it is big enough in when time passes, that rust spot perhaps can grow bigger. It can destroy your inner tube. And now you can see this thing has moved its place. And we are putting that top of the place where it belongs. It is not sharp, let's just say that way, this pin's head, but it is still sharper than any of these around areas here. That's why this middle rubber tape is, well, it's essential. So, there is more rusty areas, but we are almost done. And if you want to take this even further, this whole thing, you can repaint it after you are taking all this off. And, well, it's up to you how much you evaluate your time and want to use your time to fix these kinds of little problems. This is not anything for me. I will accept these burdens, like a space marine would say, that it's rusty, as long it's smooth as possible in this. Well, like you see how the condition is. It would be a better, but it can be much more worse. Yeah, almost done. The hole is there. So, oh, the pump. There is a big one. Let's see. Oh, it did go away with my nail. Good thing. There is another. That one is a tight one. It did go off. What about here? Here is some roughness, but not so sharp edges. And there is some rusting behind this rubber, but remember, as long as this whole frame is somewhat intact, the rust won't affect anything. If you want to try to prevent rusting, Well, there is paints, but like I already told you, if you want to make sure that you have intact frame, tire frame, well, maybe steel or carbon fabric, anything that other than black iron. Well, this is what you might see in our time. So, but main thing is, the rusting is not the problem. It is what it is, black iron without any zinc. You could use zinc paint in here, but that would be a hassle to do. Those people who need their bikes in everyday life, this would advice might save you some time even, and maybe nerves even. But if, there is also a nice big shoulder. These maintaining things are essential. But anyway, now you know what kind of situation I am. And if you are not as bad as I am, nice. But if you are even worst, well, I think I would advise to get new wheel all the way. It's way cheaper and perhaps save your own time. But now we have gone whole round and we did find quite a amount of those sharp edges. Well, next part. What's coming next to this thing? Well, good thing that you ask. You might already seen that I have this. This is green colored tape. And you might ask what the heck. Brand is X. You can maybe see it or not. I'm not advertising. Color won't be a thing. And basically tape is somewhat plastic. You could use more rubber versions, but in my case that would be a waste of money. My case, remember. And why in the heck we are using tape? Well, this is, well, as you can see, it's much more wider basically than this wheel itself. No problem. But we are covering this lower area with this tape, that these sides are covered. Not these upper walls are not the place that I want to cover, but the base where the rust are. That is the place where I want this tape to be. And now I am figuring out I should keep this way that I'm taping it better. This ain't easy. Even I have a table to do this. Now, to ensure that this tape will get sticky enough, I'm not using any chemicals here. Reasons: it will eventually lose its adhesive ability. Won't matter. It's squeezed between this metal and inner tube. So, but in the case when we are assembling this thing, I am degreasing my hands. That's only place where I putting my chemicals right now. Okay, I am back. Hands are somewhat clean from all the dirt and rust and so on. Now I will dry them up. Now, the hardest part, perhaps, if this tape is working with me or not, we will see very soon. It's somewhat green, but now that you are that way, I will come here. You will see the results as the wheel is rolling, but I have to do this right now. there is no second takes if this is going wrong place. And also I want to start from near the valves point. And already my hands are full of dirt stuff. There we go. And only thing that I'm doing, I'm keeping my finger top of the start point and I'm just pressing from the, maybe you can see it, from the middle. Well, not like that, but anyway, same thing, because this tape just left its place where I just put it. And remember, now that you are doing this, that extend, that this will prevent those rough surfaces to touch inner tube. And now I am just using my fingers to put this tape as centered as possible. And it will start to go wrong. We are not shooting with this. It's not so essential to get just in a place, but enough centered that when you are pushing your fingers, this surface here, it will stay as centered as possible. And I will show you the end results very soon. You can see what I'm doing. And well, this is nothing special. Now I will turn like this again. And still start and go a little bit off from the middle. And remember, what I am doing now, this is not a professional advice, not even near, but this will show you that with a normal tape, there is so much in this tires maintenance that it will help you to keep your well, bike, or well, in this case wheel, in a service as possible. Still this is going off a little bit. If you have some tape that it's wide, this width is much more same kind of that what the rim is, the better. You don't have to do this kind of precise job all the time that I'm doing now by pressing this both sides as centered as possible. There are people that are saying this is waste of time, so on. But if you want save money, these are not free and cheap pieces. You can do what you like, but I will do as I do the price level of this entire thing. Now we did come all the way. Few last. And there we have it. It would be a hassle to cut, so let's see, this might take it or not. Come on now. There we go. Okay, now I have to finish this. It went a little bit off from the place. And by ripping that tape, it still won't leave any sharp edge that it will get damage to the inner tube. But yeah, this is somewhat thick plastic tape. And I can tell when there is freezing temperatures, plastic will get brittle and more brittle, and even the extent where it will sometime even broke all the way. But like I said, this is how I do this repair. You should use rubber tape. This is not foolproof. This is only well, it becomes, it is now temporary, but it will stay in here as long as I want to use this wheel. So, by the way, the roughness has somewhat gone. There are these small bumps and from the tape itself. But if you have rubber tape, this same thing, even that getting old and brittle, it will stay rubberish, and this plastic won't last. But as long it will hold the tire in a place and it will serve its purpose right now in my usage, it's okay. So now we have to poke a hole to this, some reasons. Hole to this tape. There we go. And I did put it like it's around, so it won't hurt the neck of that new tubing. So that was the next step. Next one is we are putting this wheel one side back. Okay. And the side won't matter. We just push it over that rim. And of course both sides will go in, but to prevent that, we are using screwdriver. Like so. And there is still place that has not gone even all the way in. Yeah. And now we will check that tape is okay still. It can go off by doing that. It's still in a place. These side walls, the bottom. Yeah. We will go all around that we will confirm that it's the place. Check. Yeah. Next step. The inner tube. Let's see. Now we are starting to insert this tubing back inside. Now checking this, that they are in a place. Yeah, still it's belonging there like so. Do not lose this part. I will put this in this box that it will stay there. And now we are starting to put this back inside. Where is the hole? There is the hole. Okay. And you basically can lay out this top of this wheel. And first things first. You must insert this here first, that you can secure it in the place. Even it sounds a little bit stupid, but this is the only place where you can anchor it to the hard point. So let's see, we have to insert it here and try to put it through. Come on now. This is somewhat. I cannot show you very clearly, but this is somewhat, well, easy and not so easy to do. But let's try this opposite side. You might maybe see that I'm trying to get this through, and I did, like so. We are coming back. This is your main anchoring point for the collar. Okay. The collar is in a place. Now we will, hopefully you can see it what I'm doing, but I'm pressing my finger against this valve's bottom point and putting this collar screw there. See, let's take you a little bit closer if it's possible. And now I'm pressing this base point as much I can with my finger, that I can put this collar so near to this base that it's possible. And I'm screwing it somewhat a little bit with my pliers. Nothing too much, just when you have this feeling that it starts to get harder and harder even with the pliers to screw in. There it is. And you can test it. If it's a little bit has this movement, it will have it, because this is a round surface where it's trying to keep it in place. If you can somewhat still a little bit tighten it. But remember, over tightening does not anything, because the surface where it's trying to tighten it, it's round, like this way around. But now it's a little bit somewhat having this small movement. Nothing much. Next thing, we are putting that needle valve inside. And remember, we are discussing person. Like so. Insert the valve and the collar for the valve. Hopefully you can see it, what I'm doing. Excuse me, burping. There. Nice and tight. It will stay there, and when the tire's inner pressure will push or try to push this valve out, this will prevent that it won't have it his or this thing's way. Now, valve thing is check, everything is in the place, it's nice and tight, or this tape is okay from all around. Now we will just open the lip, and carefully we are inserting this in this manner that when it's inflating, it's not twisted or bended anyway. We are putting it gently in here, all around. Yeah. There we go. It's inside, all around. Okay, next step. We have to insert this tire's another side back to its place. But this also might have some problems, this wheel's lip. If there is this rusting and you can feel there is this one layer, let's just say, this rust. Try it that there is no any sharp rust layer edges. The rust itself is not a problem, but the layer, if there is this iron residue concentrated enough, it will stay there, and it can be very sharp. Like here, there's some pieces. The another side that I already put in was an okay condition, but this last side. Now we did come all the way. Now we are trying to push this inside, and now that we are using sharp-edged tools, we must remember this can be bad tool to use, but let's see if we are having some that are not having that much sharp edges. And we always can see what we are doing to prevent the puncture of the inner tube. But now that we did start this, we should maybe have a chance to get this inside without any tools. And now I'm trying to make this tape to be in here where I want it to be. In the edge, on the edge, I mean. Let's see, do I have a chance to even use my own fingers? They are not sharp, and I think it will go much more faster even than with the tool. Yeah. Okay. Now the round is almost done. These last bits are a little bit tough to do because it starts to be a pain. Seriously, now I should use tool. But it is not really. So tight. It's not easy, but let's see what we can perhaps do without steel tools. Let's see if we can get this tape to be in place. Woo! There we go. All around, and tape is in these edges. All around. Check, and another way. Same thing. Tape is all around in a place. From the starting point to the end. Check. Nice. Well, basically, that was all that includes to change your inner tube, and basically you can change your outer wheel, well, whole wheel. If your inner tube and outer wheel is okay, you can change the brim wheel. And if you have to use some bearing changes, this thing includes bearings inside. Well, of course, all they have. Well, that's a different story, but that is somewhat simpler, basically, to do than change all these three things to inner tube, and basically, if you want the outer wheel. Now we will get air and we will check what happens. See you soon. All right. Now let's see what we will have when we are putting. Let's see, can you see? So much to see and so much to show. There is our needle. This is the needle nozzle. Maybe you can see it. To the quick coupler and to the place we will put it. And we will start to see if there is happening something. Something is going on. I'm not hearing any hissing, so there is a half bar. And I will let this tire chip. I don't know, did you hear that little chip? The valve might even work. As last time I tested it. But now we have to make sure that, as you can see, perhaps not all places has still in a place. To fill new inner tube, do not press that pressure all the way to the point where you need it to be. Like in this case I put, well, we start from 2.5 bars, but this can handle 3.5 bars because this is small airspace. But we will see how this performs. And now I'm jumping this wheel around that it will start to get it bearings into place, that it will get evenly distributed. Oh my god. Why it is so hard? It's evenly getting this rubber's place in the be where it needs to be. And I will try to keep it from the ground somewhat, that it won't affect the placement. I will put it like 1 bar and put. Now we can try to be a little bit natural again. Well, you cannot see it, but it's enough that I can see. This might even be, yeah, it will bubble. You might see it or not. Yeah. Like I said, this might or might not keep air because this is old valve. You could basically buy new valves when you are changing these inner tubes, because now it's leaking, that we know, but it's not always the case, because we are not in the pressure zone that it should put so much back pressure that this needle can stay in a place, because this bubbling can come through that outer small O-ring that I showed you. So the game is not, let's just say, it's not loosened yet. We have not loosened this game. But already this thing is way much more, let's just say, better feeling, even it's under pressured. But this is my way to change this. If I can see it, it won't keep the air in it. I will buy new this needle valve and put it in there. It's not big deal. Fast to do, as you saw. Excuse me, burping again. But anyway, let's continue. And there might be a reason, because we are not using any lubrication then or speed. That's why it's leaking easily. But if you are using some residue, it can do harm more than be a benefit. It might. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not professional. This is the thing that I'm doing. You help me to help you. Let's just say that way. Give me information and I will show you the thing that I'm doing, and you can be a judge if I'm doing something wrong. But yeah, now we are inserting 2 times. I mean 2 bars. 1 bar more that we are in 2 bars, let's say that way. Not confusing anybody. Little bit of time that this outer wheel starts to expand to its place where it needs to be. Almost. There we go. Put. Now we will check this wheel. It starts to level its sides where they need to be. Both sides. They are in like where they are designed. And as you can see, it starts to bumping by itself, changing your position. Well, it's obvious if there is enough air, the tire starts jumping by itself. Yeah. Let's see. I'm pumping this somewhat so that I can check is there any any indifferences, because this outer wheel won't be bad even if there is full of these cracks. It will keep that tire in as long these side walls are in a somewhat good shape, because it can rip it out itself out from the tire if the side walls are broken. That's why I told you to check this inner side, especially those side walls. If you can see holes there, you can fix them. To put there a piece of rubber and glue it like, well, you are closing it, preventing that inner tube can burst out from the side of the tire. So there is a bend. There is, well, you may not perhaps see it. There is one bend here, but it's bending from the start of this valve. Nothing major, and it's not broken, this outer wall. So, well, I think let's put some air to it, little bit more, 2.5 bars. There. Put. And now I will test anyway. I don't have to test. The bubbles are coming from that collar, meaning that these inner tubes, well, that frame and between that needle valve, this small O-ring, it might be replaceable, or I will use whole needle body, the body itself and the small O-ring with it. But yeah, we will put this back into its place and I will show you the results. Be back soon. Okay, now we are back. Last tests. Time will tell if that valve body doesn't keep the air in. So if that's the case, I will go get new needle body. It won't be a hefty amount of money, but this wheel, as you can see, is behaving, and I know that might leak, but also this another wheel, well, it's a little bit different, that it has this different valve type. It's that screwable, and this is only the, you will put it in the place. But now I am making sure that this wheel will spread out itself in this rim, and well, basically starts to feel it's what it's going to have to do and live through everyday life by doing this pumping. Sounds and, well, looks stupid, but believe me, this will only, well, basically can or not revive that valves, this O-ring, because it's now every time there is a pressure difference and movement, it will expand itself and decrack them. My English. Expand and decracked. You know. Continuing. So this maybe helps or not. Time will tell. Maybe now it's leaking. It's brand new, but as you can see, It's pretty much works as it should. And now it's broken. But yeah, if it can handle that kind of handling, well, basically, it can handle anything as long it's not over its capabilities. But as you can see, I can try to press this wheel. It's okay. And same goes with this. And basically, these wheels are not, they are not leak proof, okay. I have these inner tires at my tractors, both. And well, basically, I have to check when the season is changing from winter to spring and vice versa, that these pressure levels are somewhat right, that I can use them. Same goes with the bicycle, well, perhaps any tire that has this inner tube. Like I said, they are not leak proof, they will leak air. There are also these small fragmentations, anything small, tiny micro cracks, something. And as you saw, maybe and hopefully, that needless body, what kind of small, tiny bit of rubber is keeping this whole thing together. But now that I'm renewing whole thing and it's new, it will leak. And hopefully in time, this overpressure will force its outer and inner walls. I'm speaking that needless, these rubbers that are included in it and that outer small o-ring. That overpressure is forcing its place to be somewhere that it will some manner of time, it will just cure itself to be as tight as possible. I think this might even repair this whole thing somewhat, but we all, maybe you may or may not has shown those bubbles that my spit produced from that needless valve body's head. That is indication that valve body is leaking. Perhaps even that valve itself can leak, because that is also rubber. It's pressed inside there, and it's like this funnel type. When you are putting air from here to go in, it will open itself up, and when you are not pressing stuff or air in, it will close itself like this. So this lip can leak. There is two places. We will see the results in time, but easy to fix. Now I will put things together and we will give this baby to test drive. Test spin. Alright, let's see. This is always nice thing to get in the place. Nice thing to get in the place. Let's open up this. I will show you. You don't have to see my back all the time. Nothing special, let's just say. But here is the spacers, inner and outer spacer. You want to use them as guiders, and they will, okay, they will get this tire to be in. Let's open this up somewhat more. They will guide this tire also. One is in the place. What about the second? There we might go. Yes, nice. Okay. And now the tire alignment thing. I will check that you can see as close as possible. I mean the line itself, the tire alignment. Tire alignment. how do you say it? If the tire is going like this or this, bad thing. So we are, and okay, this is nothing major. We are not driving like 100 kilometers per hour with this. So this is not like a car tire or anything like that. Somewhat. We'll check from the, yeah, it's little bit wiggle waggle this tire's body. I can see from here. You might not see it, but this is on the workhorse, nothing more, so I don't have to be so precise with this. That side is tight, now we are tightening this side. Let's see. It doesn't have to be so tight that as long it spins, it's okay. Now you can maybe see how this tire is not balanced anyway, but it spins very good. Its bearings are okay, but the body itself, this is bicycle, basically. Well, not bicycle, but these wheels are from bicycle, basically. They are always somewhat doing this. But if it's straight, it's okay, but it's like off from the like straight line, where it will affect your, like in this case, it will affect how this thing works. Anyway, now that thing is okay. Let's give it the test spin. Let's see how this performs now. Weighs a million tons. Yeah. There we go. Whew. Much more lighter to drive than just carry these things. Yeah, we are golden. Yep. That kind of hassle, I can say, smallest problems can be pain in a buttocks. Not anymore. We are fixed this tire problem. So I can drive easily. Now time will tell how long it will keep the air in. And if it's not keeping it like a week, month, somewhat, I will change the needle. 5 times already I did mention that. Well, repetition is always the, how's that saying going? The mother of all learning, if that make any sense. Anyway, that kind of repair video, how to do it yourself. Hopefully you did like what you saw, and I'm sorry if this camera cannot focus good. It's not done for doing this macro shooting. I might have take some another camera for these kind of close things, or I will take this one lens there is available to Osmo Action camera to have this macro lens. I will try it. It's the cheapest option to do so. So, like I was saying, thanks for watching, and comment what the heck did I did wrong or did right, something. Say something. Please, it's highly appreciated. And follow to see what's coming next. There is lots to cover, small things that might affect many people's lives. So, to the next project. See you. Bye bye.